So my name is Taylor Lillian Busch. I am participating as a scientist, and I am a civil and environmental engineering master's student at the University of New Mexico.
So I'm Rebecca Elise Cook. I'm an artist, and I am in the painting and drawing department at UNM.
And the piece that we did is inspired by some of the research that I'm doing on the Jack Pile mine on Laguna Pueblo here in New Mexico. It was the largest open pit uranium mine in the world during its operation, and it released hazardous metals into the environment like uranium and arsenic. And thankfully, nature is really smart and resilient, and we're learning from the plants and the fungi at the mine and how they could possibly immobilize these metals and remediate the land. So my work is working with some of the fungi isolated from that site and how they could interact with the arsenic.
And when I went to Taylor's lab, I was really inspired by these samples that she had in the drawers. And, it was little samples of the fungi. And when you hold them up to the light, you can see all the mycelial fibers and all the roots and everything. So I wanted to capture that in a sculpture. And so I sort of built a giant agar tray that we poured together, and we grew samples onto the agar tray. And then we encased it in resin, and then we created a topographical map of the Jack Pile mine area that is overlaid on top. So the idea is that you're looking down at the mycelia that are underneath our feet, but you're also looking at an overview of the topographical area at the same time.
The value of sci-art collaboration for me, when I think of that, I actually think of something that I recently heard at a conference when I talked about this work that we're doing. And it was a student who told me how valuable it was that we're not leaving the public in the dark about what's going on. We're finding a way to bring this knowledge to anybody and everybody. And that really spoke to me because historically one of the reasons that my research exists is from a lack of knowing what's going on and then what problems formed afterwards with mining legacy on tribal lands. And so hearing that from somebody who got to hear about our work makes me think of the importance of sci-art collaboration in a totally new way.
As long as I can remember, I've always wanted to be an artist ever since I was little. I've also always been really interested in biology. I've been interested in incorporating science into my work. I remember when I was really little, my first experience with art was taking those little cheeses that are wrapped in wax and then sculpting little versions of people and bugs and stuff out of them. And I've just kind of always been a visual artist, and I've always used art as a way to interpret the world around me, right? So interpreting someone else's research has been just such a cool experience and such a fun thing.
Honestly, I feel like we were a really good team, and we vibed before we even knew we were going to be paired. just going to the first meeting where we knew who our pairings were, and then we ended up sitting by each other because we vibed, and then we were oh,
yeah,
we're partners.
It was honestly perfect.
Yeah.
We immediately picked each other out, and we're sitting next to each other and making pals, and then it was what? What magic that we're paired together. So that was really, really cool.
I think making a successful collaboration takes eagerness to learn from each other, open-mindedness about ideas that come up, and communication. And when we began to brainstorm, I feel like we really just bounced off any yeses or nos openly with each other. And as far as communication, when we hit roadblocks or when we have clashing ideas or an idea where we don't know how to bring it to life, we really make sure we check in with each other, we talk it through, and it's been so fun to have that kind of structure with free-flowing ideas.
Good collaboration requires that you have a shared ethos, that you have a shared goal, you have a similar mindset. So it was really easy collaborating with Taylor because we had all of that. We really got along immediately. As soon as we met, we got along and had a similar vision and goal for what we wanted to make together. So I think that clear communication and flexibility also plays into it. We had a couple of hiccups in the lab recently, and we had to kind of take a left turn on our project. But now I'm even more excited about what's happening with our new project because we were able to do that problem solving together.
Our challenge was with the mold, with the fungal mold, because We wanted to originally culture fungi from the mine. And then during this whole program, in my personal life, in my research life, we found out that the fungi I was working with are a little more dangerous than I thought. And so even my research had to take a halt and go through all new criteria and training. And so we had to rethink the project. And we went through a few different ideas of how to work around it and how safe we could be with it. So I think just making sure that we did something that was, really taking some of the science from the lab into the museum, but being safe about it.
Right. Yeah. And we kind of came to the conclusion, it doesn't really need to be this exact fungus. It can really be about the mycelia, because the mycelia, the morphology is kind of similar anyway, from what I understand. So there was that. There was also this challenge of creating this giant agar tray, which was a new thing. We actually looked it up, and it would have been a world record had it been round. But pouring the agar was difficult, figuring out a place where it could be sterile and it could grow without stuff in the air getting into it and stuff like that. So Taylor had to do all of that bit, which was really tricky.
So I've always considered myself a scientist and an artist. In my personal life, I'm an artist when it comes to painting and drawing and music. I love that form of expression, in my personal life, and I've never mixed science and art together. I love science, obviously, as an engineer, and I've personally got into my work because when I was in community college, I actually started out as a teaching major for science, and I did a paper on a water issue, and I decided to choose the water on Navajo Nation that was affected by uranium mining legacy, and that's when I decided I want to be a part of a solution for this problem.
Yeah, I think science and art, you need both in order to make a successful piece. I think that they're not so different, and I think they both take creative problem solving and also that you can take scientific concepts and then translate them through this universal medium of art, which is what I'm really interested in. And so you can't really have one without the other, that they both speak together and they both work together as well. Getting this opportunity of, being able to utilize my art skill, but go into the lab and see what Taylor's doing and take some of that research and try to interpret it has really been a dream. It's been awesome for me. It's the first time I've ever done a SciArt collaboration, so that was a really special experience for me, and I'm really looking forward to more of that because I really enjoyed it. I think, all of it was new for me, so I learned from every single stage, and I'm just really thankful to have been part of it. It's been great, yeah.
One of the ways that I grew during this program as a scientist is that, being a master's student and being in the lab and all of the stress and all of the pressure, it can be hard to look at your work in a different light. It's very optimistic light because you're in it so much. And every time we got to meet to work on this, and the way Rebecca would talk about my work, I remember one time she said, this stuff is just, it makes you feel so hopeful. And I was I haven't heard that in a while about this kind of science, when you're in it all day long and it's the stressful side of doing it and everything, and to look back out again and realize the sharing of what we're doing with everybody and communicating with everybody and informing people of what's going on. And that's exciting and that feels great. And so just being able to look at science in a new light, remind myself again, why I'm doing this is to share this knowledge with people, to share new ideas and tools and methods. And the way that we can do that isn't just by publishing a paper, but making something that people can interact with and start thinking about and really see, and it sparks something.